What would it be like if after you actually achieve success, you realize that none of the things that you were chasing actually made you happy? What would that be like? That's exactly what happened to our interview for today, Alex Sanfilippo. Alex is the founder of podmatch.com, and he has created multiple software companies for podcasters to find each other, to go out and grow their podcast, to go out and monetize their businesses. And he has been extremely successful at what he does. But he didn't start there. He started out in real estate, and then he lost everything during the market crash, which prompted him to reinvent himself in more ways than one. You're going to be hearing this very, very human part of his story. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing, that before we start, I needed to talk to you about something because I want you to hear this story by being educated on what you're hearing. Okay? There is one thing that he talks about in this episode, which is called hustle culture. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about that because I want you to walk out of this episode getting the right lessons and not the wrong ones. All right? And there's so much to learn from my friend Alex Sanfilippo. So I want you to stick around because we're going to get to that lesson. But before we get there, can we talk a little bit about this hustle culture situation? Hi, my name is Ina Coveney. I'm a marketing strategist, business coach, and podcaster. And this is a Superhumans podcast where I interview the top success stories out there and we humanize their success. It's always my goal to make you feel like you are the one sitting across from these amazing people, asking them all the questions that you have so that you can get all of the ideas, all of the lessons from their failures and from their success, and that you can become a superhuman as well. So today we're talking to Alex Sanfilippo. And he mentioned in this interview hustle culture. And I'm going to rip it for you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. He says that hustle culture needs to stop. I completely agree with him. Hustle culture, if I can define it for you, I went online and I found the actual definition for you. Hustle culture is a workplace environment that prioritizes productivity and hard work over the well-being of its employees. It's characterized by the belief that success is directly proportional to the amount of effort put in and that overworking is a badge of honor. Now, I want to say right now, by that definition, hustle culture should have no place in your life. There should be no situation where you are sacrificing your own mental health, your own physical well-being in order to achieve those goals. All right? I want you to know that if you wake up every day and you are feeling depressed, I want you to know if you wake up every day and you are completely spent, if you go to bed completely spent, if you are feeling like things are not working for your mental health and your physical health, please get help. Please ask for help. Please voice out these concerns to people that love you so that you can get some help, because there should be no situation in which your mental and physical well-being are in jeopardy due to what you're doing. Let's just nip that in the bud. Now, I have been in rooms and I have been in conversations with other entrepreneurs where they call hard work hustle culture. And that is what I have an issue with. That is when I have a problem. Because if you are starting your business, if you are starting to do something really hard, and you are hearing experts say that hustle culture is negative, what do you think that's going to make you do? It's going to make you look at all the hard work you've been putting in and calling it hustle. And saying, well, they're telling me that this shouldn't be that hard. And I feel like that's something that is really seeping into our language. And we have to be able to make a distinction. Now, I want to be really responsible with this, with how I say this, right? Because if your mental well-being and your physical well-being have been affected by how hard you have been working, it sounds like hustle culture is what you have fallen into, right? And we just saw that hustle culture is a toxic environment to be working in. If that is your case, you fall into that category. Hustle culture, negative, bad, toxic. Yes, agreed. And we have to start normalizing hard work. Because nobody made it. None of the hundreds of people that I've interviewed in the past, none of these success stories will tell you that success came easy. None of them will tell you that it was a walk in the park. None of them will tell you that they just turned on Facebook ads one day and they started making millions of dollars the next day. It was never like that. Every single person that I have interviewed will tell you it took planting seeds, it took seeing fruit, it took lighting up a fire to the forest, and then letting it regrow. It took hard work, hard decisions, and a lot of risk to get to where they got. And I believe that we all have that in ourselves to find just the right amount of hard work that is going to make this a success for us, that is going to make it worth it for us. And I feel like somebody needs to tell you that if you're looking for an easy way out, that if you're looking for an easy way to find your path, you are making things harder on yourself. Because behind every success story, there is a period of hustle. Like I said, not hustle culture, not toxic mental health, physically debilitating hustle necessarily. But there is a period of working hard and not seeing a lot of return. So if that's where you are right now, that you feel like you're working really hard and not seeing a lot of return, I want to share with you, welcome to the club. This is what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's not easy. It's not like we flip on a switch and then the next day we are making millions of dollars. It doesn't work like that. There's going to be a period where we're going to be working really hard. And Alex Sanfilippo in this interview shows us everything that he did to get to where he is. And you will hear really hard lessons. And you will hear really humbling moments for somebody who had made a huge success of himself even earlier on in life. And what I don't want you to walk away thinking, continuing to believe, is that hustle culture equals hard work, because it doesn't. Hustle culture is negative, it is toxic, it has no room in your life, and there's nothing that is worth you losing your own mental health and physical well-being. If that's where you are, you have fallen trap to way too hard a hustle. You need to back it up and you need to take care of yourself. But if you are just working really hard and not seeing fruit yet, I want to tell you that your work ethic is going to win the day. That nobody ever said this was easy when it came to their success. So I just feel like I needed to say that out loud for you to figure out what hustle culture is versus what plain old great work ethic, working hard is. Working hard is spending more time on Sundays working on your business. Working hard is waking up at 5 a.m. before the kids are up so that you can finish recording those podcast episodes. Working hard is going to bed at midnight so that you can finish putting together that course. Working hard is making the wrong hires early on, learning from those lessons, and then failing fast and hiring the right people next. Working hard is having a vision that you know it's possible and you know the steps to get there, and there's nothing that is going to stop you from getting there. Nobody said entrepreneurship was going to be easy. So if you're working hard, you are doing it right. It has nothing to do with hustle culture when you are just plain old working hard for what you want. And if that's your work ethic, I am so excited to introduce you to Alex Sanfilippo. Alex is an entrepreneur and the founder of PodPros, a software company specifically focused on independent podcast hosts and their guests to elevate their voices through podcasting and be heard. Alex and the team at PodPros have developed popular podcasting software services such as Podmatch, Podcast SOP, and Podlottery. In addition, Alex is also the host of the top-rated podcast, Podcasting Made Simple, and is one of the most sought after educators and public speakers in the podcasting industry. And I can't wait for you to meet him and to hear his entire story. So make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss another one of these episodes. If you are on the YouTube channel, all you have to do is click here to go straight to the interview. And if you're listening on the podcast, this episode begins now.